Most extreme natural disasters caught on camera, number 21. Do you have the courage to face the horrific forces that Earth is capable of? Extreme natural disasters have been captured on camera, from massive tsunamis to catastrophic earthquakes. Are you prepared to confront the raw and harsh power of Mother Nature at her most terrifying moments as we journey together into the eye of the storm? If so, gear up and get ready to start listening. On September 18, 2022, Hurricane Fiona hit Puerto Rico with all her wrath. Her maximum sustained wind speed was 111 miles per hour, and she pounded the island continuously. Utuado was severely flooded as a result of the storm's precipitation, which totaled around 2 feet. The Guanica River was forced to overflow its banks as the water level rose. Rescue workers watched with despair as the bridge that had connected both sides of the river was swept away by the rushing water. The bridge's creaking and groaning as it gave way beneath the weight of traffic was a foreboding harbinger of its demise. In a flash, it was ripped from its anchors and carried downstream by the raging current. The railings were dragged along by the ruthless current like a frayed rope. The rescuers looked on in shock at the unbelievable scene before them. Their efforts to help others in need were thwarted when they were separated by the river and stuck on opposite banks. After Hurricane Maria in 2017 damaged the previous bridge, this one was built to take its place. The metal bridge was only supposed to be a stopgap measure, but Hurricane Fiona destroyed it anyhow. The storm's goal was clear: to keep the bridge in a state of transience, tied to the pain of past losses. It was the worst day in Mount Everest's long history, and it happened on April 25, 2015. Nepal was devastated by an earthquake of magnitude 7.8, which set off a large avalanche close to the mountain's southern base camp. The Guardian claimed that some 300 climbers and many Sherpas were on the mountain at the time of the avalanche. The people waiting in base camp took the brunt of the calamity, but those at camps 1 and 2 above it were comparatively unscathed. Climbers on Everest may be seen feeling the earthquake and showing their concern in a video recorded at the time. They stopped dead in their steps as they heard a terrifying threat. Attempting to avoid the enormous snow tsunami, they panicked and ran back to their tents, looking nervously over their shoulders the whole way. Unfortunately, there was no way to outrun the avalanche's devastating momentum. The climbers vanished behind the heavy snowfall in a chilling instant. Their frantic gasping for air and hacking at the air in desperation could be heard throughout the film. Their safe haven was soon revealed to be a tent, as proved by the distinct sound of a zipper and the faint yellow glow coming from within. Even though they had lucked out and made it off the mountain alive, they had no idea what others were up against. The death toll from the avalanche was estimated to be between 17 and 24 by different sources. After all was said and done, April 25, 2015 will go down in history as the single deadliest day on Mount Everest. All the people in the video are extremely lucky to have survived the incident unscathed. With a population of around 1.8 million, Manila is the Philippines' second most populated metropolis after Cebu metropolis. Manila, sometimes called the Pearl of the Orient, has a thriving cultural scene because of its many museums, parks, theaters, and shopping centers. On June 22, 2022, however, the city was nearly destroyed by a crisis that nearly derailed its reputation. The weather report had called for some cloud cover and a few showers, but the day turned out to be everything from typical. A strange squall developed out of nowhere, with winds that increased dramatically and steadily from 16 to 22 knots, or 18 to 25 miles per hour. The force of the wind was made clear as red road barriers were blown all over the streets. An automobile was hit by a barrier, and the driver did the smart thing by staying inside. Our cameraman was filming when something unexpected fell to the ground in front of him, forcing him to retreat a few paces from the action. In the meantime, the squall ruthlessly destroyed trees, adding to the whole mayhem. As if propelled by an invisible hand, the red barricades continued their erratic dance across the wet pavement. A scooter rider entered the frame, swerving to the right as their goal was obscured by the storm. The next morning, some routes were reportedly unusable due to downed trees and other debris. Super typhoon allegations were quickly debunked as they spread, but they caused panic in Manila. Although it was nonetheless an unusual occurrence, the astonishing incident was ultimately explained by a heavy downpour. In central China, there lies an autonomous region known as Aba. Though the spelling may vary, this prefecture, like many areas in Southeast Asia, experiences frequent landslides due to heavy rainfall, often causing disruptions to daily commutes. A recent incident serves as a stark reminder of the potential dangers these landslides can pose, as witnessed by a group of drivers who narrowly avoided a disaster that unfolded a few hundred feet away from them. The scene was filled with chaos as the road became engulfed in a cloud of dust and debris. From another vantage point below the road, an onlooker captured an image of the hovering cloud above some bushes, offering a glimpse of the aftermath of the landslide. The origin of the landslide could be traced in one photo, showing the likely source of the cascading rocks and dirt. Another picture revealed the entrance to a tunnel, which now stood completely obstructed, rendering it impassable due to the fallen debris. One image, perhaps taken just moments before the landslide, depicted workers in the vicinity. Hopefully, they managed to move to safety in time, as local reports indicate no injuries were sustained during the incident. Additionally, there are accounts of another driver who allegedly traversed through the tunnel just before the landslide struck, emerging from the other end with the agility of a skilled stunt driver. A major earthquake measuring 7.0 on the Richter scale hit the Aegean Sea between Greece and Turkey on October 30th, 2020. While Samos, Greece was physically closer to the earthquake's epicenter, Izmir, Turkey took the most hit. Tsunamis are often triggered by earthquakes, and even moderate waves can cause extensive damage. A Turkish man filming the ocean from the shore was forced to escape the rising tide by rushing to his vehicle. At first, it seemed safe to ride out the little waves. The man's friend, however, saw a huge wave approaching and realized that they were in danger. As the waves crept closer to the shoreline, they made a beeline for the shelter of the automobile. The man passed his phone to his friend, who recorded their escape as he drove away from the oncoming wave. This riveting film is both a reminder and a warning. If a tsunami alert is issued, you must get out of the water immediately. Located in central Louisiana, just across the Red River from Alexandria, is the little community of Pineville. It was the first location of Louisiana State University before the school moved to Baton Rouge, hence it is significant historically. Cities like Alexandria and Pineville in the southern United States were hit hard by a tornado outbreak in the middle of December 2019. A worried husband waited for his wife to return from the doctor's office while the storm raged outside. He bravely filmed the tornado as it swept over his house from the safety of his garage. As the tornado got closer, the wind picked in speed and snapped branches off trees. The strong winds hurled debris across the roadway, forcing the homeowner to take cover. His trash cans were blown all the way across the driveway, and a major prop was blown over the screen to emphasize the severity of the storm. The homeowner, seeing the garage was becoming increasingly dangerous, decided to seek safety indoors. Reports indicate that the Pineville tornado was an F3, the highest possible rating, suggesting a high destructive potential. The violent system that carved a path of devastation between the communities of DeRidder and Alexandria spanned nearly 60 miles, suggesting that numerous tornadoes were involved in the outbreak. Our Pineville resident caught the tail end of the tornado and was able to get in touch with his wife after the storm had passed. Fortunately, she survived, but she's probably still traumatized. If this journey left you gasping and if you want more, then be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel.